Today I'm going to talk about some camping lessons learned that I figured out when me and my son went camping with the Cub Scouts. I've been camping a lot of my life, but I've never went with the Scouts, so I thought this was a good time for new people who, just hadn't been camping with them, kind of what to expect. It's also one of my first times actually car camping because usually when I go and hike. So this is a much different camping experience. So let me just tell you some basic things. I'm not going to go through and read a list of everything you need because normally your Scoutmaster, you can find tons of them online, like basic camping supplies. But I'm going to tell you some of the tricks I learned with those supplies or things that weren't on the list that were valuable. So first thing, as far as tent size and sleeping arrangement. So the interesting thing about car camping is your car is right there. Usually you don't really have to walk to it, or maybe you have to walk, a minute to get to it. So you can bring a lot of stuff. So the first thing about tent size is that, if you're sleeping two people in a tent, you want a tent that's made for four people. I usually just have a rule of I try to double it. So, if I'm bringing my family of five, we probably need an 8 to 10 person tent. Because when they say 4-man tent, that means four people sleeping side by side in a mummy sleeping bag next to each other, almost elbows touching, not a nice, comfortable, sprawled out bed. So keep that in mind when you're buying your tent. Also, as far as sleeping goes, if you have like a minivan or something along those lines, and you only have one or two people going, it actually might be worth it to simply pull out the seats and sleep in there. It'll probably be a little more comfortable. If you get too hot or too cold, you could always, turn your car on if you needed to. Also, if there's any bad weather, like a storm, it's okay to stay outside, stay in the car. So that's always an option for you, and it's something I might consider next time, just because it did rain on us, and it wasn't a big deal that it rained. It was just I had to pack up all of our stuff wet, like my tent, and then the next day dry it all out, and that was kind of a pain, and I could have just slept in our minivan. Okay, next, blankets, sleeping bags. Definitely make sure you know the weather. You're going to have to guesstimate it, about a few weeks out to actually buy equipment if you don't have it. But you really can't look at the weather until about a day before to really know what it's going to be. So the general rule of thumb is to get a sleeping bag that's made for about 15 to 20 degrees colder than what it's really going to be. So if it says 50 degrees, you probably want to have like a 30 to 35 degree sleeping bag. Additionally, you can always bring extra blankets car camping, which is awesome. We actually bought fleece liners on Amazon really cheap, like maybe $15 or less for fleece liners. And we actually mostly used those and we unzipped part of our sleeping bag. So that's a really nice thing to get. Definitely worth getting, and you can kind of use them in the house as blankets. They're really nice. As far as like a mummy or square, I'd really only get the mummy sleeping bag if it's going to be very cold, like below 40 degrees, maybe even below 30 degrees, because they're not as comfortable as the nice square ones. And you can find really good, decent quality car camping sleeping bags on Amazon, Walmart, Dick's, etc. for a pretty good price. You don't need to spend $100 on your sleeping bag. You can spend 30 and get a pretty good one. All right, as far as mattresses and pads, always, especially car camping, sleep on a mattress or a pad. You don't want to sleep on the ground. The ground's going to make you, like let's say it's 50 degrees and the ground's 30 degrees, the ground's going to pull heat away from your body. Always have a mattress pad. You can go and buy a closed cell foam pad from any store for under $20, order them off Amazon, etc. Additionally, you probably want some kind of blow-up mattress. You can buy blow-up mattresses at Walmart for less than $10 for a single person blow-up mattress. And if you do buy a blow-up mattress, make sure you have a pad to put on top of the mattress because the air in the mattress will get cold and suck heat away from you. All right. Definitely as far as food goes, now our troops supplied breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but you might not always like what they have. So definitely bring snacks, a lot of snacks, and things that are easy like granola bars, different kinds of bars, maybe canned soup, anything that doesn't really need to be heated and can be just kind of eaten and it's nice. Bring a lot of snacks. We ate a lot. I brought tons of granola bars from various companies, health bars, and we ate a lot of them between me and my son. We also drank tons and tons of water, so make sure you bring plenty of water. Just, most people need a gallon of water a day. Just plan for double or triple that so you definitely have enough. All right, another cool thing we brought were glow sticks. They were cool for two reasons. One, I was able to identify my son at night because the kids are all running around a little playing tag and stuff like that. So I was able to put a glow stick around his neck so I could see where he was, and that was nice. And two, um, at night he wanted a light in the sleeping bag, and I can't really sleep with a light on. So we were able to compromise by using the glow stick as a night light because they stay lit all night, and it was actually really nice because it's a nice little glow. It's not enough to really keep you up if you don't like light, and it's not dark enough. It's, he was able to see and have some kind of light in the tent. It was actually really nice to have the glow sticks for that reason. Definitely bring some kind of plug or charger for your phone, especially if it dies, because you're probably gonna be taking pictures and stuff like that, and it's gonna die. Especially like, yeah, camping at some place like a Cub Scout camp where you're not hiking, you probably have access to a plug at some point. We did have access to it in our bathrooms and showers. There was electric. So I was able to take my phone in and charge it up in the bathroom. Even, just get a quick charge hanging out in there. It does charge up pretty fast. Another thing you should buy if you don't have one of those, if you're not sure about electric, is go to Walmart for less than $10. You can buy a phone charger battery pack that'll at least charge your phone one time. So you can always bring one of those too. Pretty cheap. All right, next thing. If it's cold, go and buy some hand warmers. They're like $1 a piece or less, and they're really nice. They're great to use, before you go to bed to kind of warm up, put in your sleeping bag, and then when you wake up in the morning and your feet or hands are cold, they're really nice. The ones where you like, as soon as they're exposed to air, they start to heat up. They last about 30 to 60 minutes or something like that. If it's hot, obviously you're going to, instead of hand warmers, you're going to want some kind of like electric fan. You can buy cheap electric fans that use batteries. So, just find some of them because they'll be really good in your tent to help keep you cool. Definitely bring some kind of flip-flops or Crocs in addition to your shoes. The reason you're going to want flip-flops or Crocs is that at night and in the early morning when you take your shoes off and you're like all comfortable in bed stuff, you might need to go to the bathroom, especially if you wake up in the middle of the night and you don't want to have to put like your hiking shoes and tie them up at 3 in the morning when you have to pee really quick. So you have a pair of flip-flops, you have a pair of Crocs, you throw those on and take care of your business. Next thing, hiking shoes. Depending on where you go, I don't think you really need specific hiking shoes for camping. I do definitely recommend something comfortable. So whatever you have, make sure it's broken in and comfortable. If you buy hiking shoes for camping, make sure you've worn them several times for long walks to get them nice and broken in so you don't get blisters. As far as hiking shoes go, I do have hiking shoes, and it was really nice because it was a little muddy and there were some wet places, and it was nice for me to have hiking shoes. So if you don't have them and you're considering them, it is worth getting them. They're nice to have. As far as, otherwise, I'd simply wear a pair of running shoes, which is what my son did. Now, I did feel bad because his feet did get wet a few times, but we didn't buy hiking shoes for him, mostly because his feet are growing so fast, they wouldn't, they'd only last him this one time. As far as kids' hiking shoes go, though, you can find pretty cheap kids' hiking shoes at various sporting goods stores, or even Walmart for like under $30 if they're only going to wear them that one time. You can find nice, some kind of rain waterproof boots that they can wear the whole time. But he didn't complain, and I don't think I really needed my hiking shoes either. But since I have them already, I was able to wear them. As far as like, do you need waterproof or anything like that? That's your call. And if I personally prefer waterproof hiking shoes, just because I usually wear them. They're kind of my winter outdoor shoes that I wear. So I do personally like the waterproof ones. As far as like, okay, showering and wipes, I've been to a bunch of campsites. I'd say one of the general consensus of campsites I go to is that I'd say most of them, the showers aren't too great. Um, the place we actually went Cub Scout camping to, the showers, I probably would have gotten more dirty by showering in the shower. So I wouldn't necessarily plan on being able to shower. If they have showers, definitely bring the stuff to do it in case if they do. But you can buy lots of different kinds of wipes that actually are designed to kind of give you like a shower. You can wipe yourself down with the wipe. and it takes the bad bacteria off of you, kind of kills the germs, staph, and stuff like that that might be on you throughout the day if you can't shower. You can buy those kind of wipes for really cheap. I'm not talking about like the anti-flu wipes. I'm not talking about the Lysol wipes. I'm talking about wipes specifically made for showering, for cleaning yourself off. So definitely bring those. It's what me and my son used. And they were really nice, at the end of the day to kind of wipe off all the sweat and make you feel nice and fresh before bed, clean you up. Definitely bring hand sanitizer. You're not going to be sure if you're going to have access to a bathroom to wash your hands. You're also not going to be sure what that water is like. So always have hand sanitizer camping. And the last thing, which they'll tell you is probably optional, is chairs, but just bring one. You're going to want to sit. There's not going to be places to sit. Make sure you bring some folding chairs. You can buy cheap folding chairs at any store for really, you can buy expensive chairs or you can buy really cheap ones. Just have something. And something you don't care that it's going to get wet if it's outside.